I just purchased a book that was on clearance at Walmart. It was for $2, and it's a lined type journal. So I took this. I took one of these. I bought 3, which I'm really glad I did because I've been able to use them in subsequent years. But my mom is a botanical artist, I guess, is one of the many things that she does. She's very talented, but one of the things she did was make this botanical print out of different flowers. And when I saw this at her store, I said, I would really love to have this piece of fabric. And so she gave it to me, and I was able to take this journal and turn it into this journal. And just a sneak peek inside. Now, when I started my journaling, here's the inside of the journal. When I started my journey with journaling, I was very nervous about drawing, so I didn't want to draw at all. So I had basically a text type of journal like this. And every time I saw a new bird, you could see here, male downy woodpecker in all caps. I would get so excited whenever I had a new species visit the yard. And gradually, I thought, you know what? I think I ought to just try drawing, even though it's something that I'm not very good at. But I thought, who's going to see my journal? I'll just draw some pictures. So this was my very first journal post with the bird. That's a Mississippi kite. One of the nice things about journaling is you don't have to make it perfect. Like I said, unless you are going to have your journal published, don't worry about it. It could be as simple or as challenging as you would like. So you could see when I started out, didn't do that great of a job, but I was still proud. At least I was able to overcome that, to overcome my fear. Well, as I noticed as I kept practicing, this is what started to happen. And the more I journaled, the more I practiced, the better that my artwork became. So I took the leap and decided to do it. Let's see if I can find out. Here's some of the things that, like I said, that I would include the new species. I would include things like their wingspan, how long, their length, a description of what they look like, and I would put that in my journal. I'd also include the date as well as the temperature outside, and if it rained, I put it in my journal that it rained. At the back of this journal, I have, this is my 2023 journal. I have highlights from 2023 and fledgling 6, first hummingbird April 15th, last hummingbird October 17th, that type of thing. And then with my gardens, I have end of season measurements. I would pick a representative, a plant to represent a particular species, and I would measure the tallest one. Most valuable lessons learned is another entry that I have here. And here's a good piece of advice for myself. Did I take it? No. Don't plant as many garden plots at once. Maybe do one new one per year. That is great advice, but did I do that? No. I expanded almost all of my garden beds this year. We used, I think, like 185 bags of mulch. And you think it's going to be a day project, and then boom, there you are a month or two later, right? 2000, here's another entry, 2024 ideas and goals. Take a photo and video of gardens each month. Did I do that this year? No, but I had good intentions. Start a zinnia garden. I did do that. Plant purple fountain grass. I did that. Try to attract bluebirds. Check. Make wildflower garden larger. I couldn't do that because I had expanded my gardens, and by the time we'd done that, it was too hot and we were tired. Raised beds, didn't do that but want to, and that was just due to lack of funding. Pick more fresh flowers. I didn't have as many flowers this year, so I wasn't able to do that, but if I would have picked them. Dry more flowers. My goal this year was to try to dry one of everything from my gardens. Plant sunflowers in July as well. I didn't do that, but I will next year. And then I have a list of my flowers and plants planted. So again, this was just a $2 book from Walmart on clearance, and I fixed it up a little bit. You can also take something like, let's see if I can find it here. Whenever school starts, you can have, find these journals for or these notebooks for like 50 cents at Walmart. And so what you could do is get several of these and decorate them. Here is one with some paper, scrapbook paper, and I just put stickers on them, something simple. This is actually scrapbook paper that already has a bird on it, so that made a nice cover for it. And then I made this little thing with the year. If you like scrapbooking, this was a fun one to make. It has a little bit of dimension to it. Might be kind of hard to see, but this was really fun to do. I think I may have used watercolor pencils on this one. I can't quite remember. And then this one I just used colored pencils on. So those are different journals. These would be great ideas for your children. They could make something as simple like this and maybe draw something on the front. And to get started, you can use something as simple as these inexpensive pencils. These are also erasable, which is great for kids if they feel the need to erase. Or you can go all crazy and get more of a selection of pencils. These are my Rose Art pencils, which are a little less expensive. I have them all. And these are my Prismacolor pencils, which I have here, which has a little bit more variety. And then I also have my watercolor pencils in here. But you don't have to get so fancy with your journaling. The main thing with journaling, and the one tip I'd like to share with you, is just get started and do it.